RhettandLinKast, a podcast by Rhett and Link.
Welcome to the RhettandLinKast. This podcast is about Velcro, the fascinating fabric that fastens to itself.
We wrote a song about Velcro, and we have a music video about Velcro to accompany it, and we want you to see that right now.
I've got a pair of shoes, half as expensive and twice as cool as my other shoes. My feet are firmly held in place without the aid of a shoelace. It takes me 3 seconds to put them on. You're on your first shoe, I'm already gone. One side is fuzzy, one side is prickly, separately useless, but together so sticky. Zippers and buttons are both antiquated. Welcome to the future, Velcro's been here waiting. If I could travel back in time to the 30s, my Velcro shoes would blow their minds. Hearing the rip, they'd think my shoes were destroyed. Then I'd refasten and they'd all be overjoyed. I would be elected as the mayor. Velcro would be worn by NBA players. One side is fuzzy and one side is prickly, separately useless, but together so sticky. More convenient than a nail gun, safer than thumbtacks. I'm completely stuck on Velcro, cause Velcro's where it's at. It's Velcro, Velcro, Velcro.
Little history about Velcro. Back in 1948, a Swiss engineer named George de Mestral was out hiking in the Alps, the Swiss Alps, with his Swiss dog. When he got back, he saw that there were a lot of burrs on his pants and on his dog, but he said, I'm fascinated. He said it in a Swiss accent, but he said, I'm fascinated by how the burrs attach themselves to my pants. And so he put his pants and the burrs up under a microscope, and he looked at them. And this is what he saw.
Actually, we don't have an electron microscope camera, so I just took a picture of my leg hair.
But when George looked under the microscope, he noticed that the loops from the wool pants had attached themselves to the hooks from the burrs. I'll be the woolen loop, and you be the burry hook. And see, they create this bond with each other. And if you do this like 1,000 times, you have what looks like the surface of Velcro. And it also makes the cool ripping noise when you rip it apart. Well, George wanted to recreate this natural phenomenon with man-made fabric, so he began experimenting. And I don't know how he stumbled upon this, but he figured out that if you sew nylon under infrared light, you can actually create the hooks for the burry side of the Velcro.
This actually reminds me of my uncle. He discovered that if you whittle a duck out of a bar of soap underneath a black light,
it floats.
Yeah, it floats. How did you know?
He gave me one. He gave me a couple of them.
Really?
Yeah, they both float.
He never gave me one. So the Swiss guy, George, he invented Velcro. He called it Velcro because of the French words velours and crochet, which literally mean velvet hook.
Which was my nickname in high school. The Velvet Hook, they called me.
Doing all this research on Velcro has really inspired us to the point that we've wanted to draw. We've each drawn a picture of the moment Velcro was invented, and we haven't shared it with each other. We want to share it with you now and with each other, get a first glance, and field any questions. So, Rhett, let me see yours. I'm ready.
There it is.
Okay.
You have any questions?
This is good. What's the? I know that's a dog just because I know the story, but What's the deal with the dog? It looks like a emaciated fox.
I've drawn a lot of humans, but this is the first dog I've ever drawn.
What's that gesture he's got going on there?
I think he's excited about the potential of this new, of Velcro.
So that's the look of excitement and not one of being rabid or...
He's mid-jump.
Really?
Yeah.
And his legs are that stiff? What about this basket?
That's a basket of Swiss chocolate.
Okay, I'm a little nervous. I just drew this morning. Here it is. Take a look.
Somewhere between your dog and my dog is the perfectly drawn dog.
Can you tell that's his tail?
Well, it looks like another foot.
No, that's his tail.
But it looks...
Furry tail.
He looks like almost looks like a scale that you would step on that's been made to look like a dog. Why is he pointing straight up?
He's saying, wait a minute, I'm getting something. And that's what he's saying too.
So who discovered Velcro, the dog or George?
That is the question. Every good piece of art poses a question.
What is the little scroll there on the ground?
That's Swiss cake rolls. Okay, now that you're thoroughly inspired, we want to invite you to draw a picture of the moment Velcro was invented yourself and send it to us. We'd really love to see it. You can scan it in or take a picture of it and email it to us at rhettandlink@rhettandlink.com. If you're one of the 3 people that actually does this, we'll be sure to give you something as a token of our appreciation, as well as display your art on our website and in our next podcast, possibly, but we're not making any promises.
I can promise you we will show it in the podcast.
We need to confer about that before